What is happening, people? It is Brian Alsruhe from NeverSay.com, and welcome to the second week in a row where you guys get a training video. And this week has actually gone a lot better than last week. I'm still very sick, don't get it wrong, but I've been able to, I feel like my strength's come back a little bit. So some pretty good stuff in this video. I'm gonna kick to commentary. Guys, I'm sorry, I still need to do the commentary thing. I wish I could bring you guys along for my workouts, but honestly right now, too sick, too distracted. I need to stay focused on what I'm doing. But this week, instead of just talking about randomness during the commentary, I'm actually gonna talk about my training and what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So guys, I thank you so much for joining me. Let's kick to that now. All right, and thank you guys so much for joining me in the commentary, where I am very, very pleased to tell you guys that I am starting to feel a little bit more like myself. Not really in the nausea like I mentioned. I'm still very sick, doing all that still, but I'm starting to perform better. And honestly, when it comes to me, I would rather perform better than feel better any day of the week. So you guys are going to see some better stuff in this training video. So this day, my plan was to just really base it around the paused deadlift, where I was going to work up to a heavy triple. If you guys do not work the paused deadlift, it is a variation that I absolutely love. Just because it's really, really tough to do incorrectly. You can't really pause a weight if it's way out in front of your foot or if it's outside of your strength groove that far. So basic idea here is to actually teach perfect form. In fact, a lot of times at my gym when we're going for PRs, people will work their way up on a paused deadlift, and it just sticks them in such a good position. It stops them from jerking the bar off the ground. It does a lot of things. It fixes many of the normal problems that happen when you get to heavier weights. And so they will do the paused deadlift all the way up to something close to their PR, and then they'll go ahead and they will just pull a normal PR where they do not stop for the pause, and it works out more times than not. So if you guys do find that maybe your technique is one of your biggest areas of problem in the deadlift, then maybe try doing more paused deadlifts. That's going to help perform your setup. Your just positioning is going to get a lot better because, again, you can't do it incorrectly. And then maybe if you're working your way up and you get close to a PR, just start pulling singles without the pause. Just start trying to rocket through that and speed up accelerate the bar as soon as it breaks the ground, and who knows where you'll end up. Between those deadlifts, I was actually getting 10 single arm dumbbell rows each side, and then 10 incline dumbbell presses with just 100 pounds each arm. So just trying to get volume there more than anything else, trying to bring my pecs back a little bit because I feel like an old man right now. Anyway, this is the top set of 605 pounds where I'm going for a triple. Felt good on the first one. Got second one. You guys can see my face there is a little bit unhappy. Now this third one, I started pulling and I was like, oh no, you got it. It was just good. It was good. It felt good on the third one. Honestly, out of that set, my second was by far the worst rep there. After that, I just moved on some really basic assistance stuff where I was doing stiff-legged deadlifts at 405 pounds for sets of 10, to pull-ups sets of 12, to dips sets of 20. So just finished up with a lot of bodyweight stuff because I knew doing paused deadlifts that many at that kind of weight was definitely going to hurt me pretty badly, which it ended up doing, not in like a bad way. It's not like my back was hurt, but here on the second day, which you guys are seeing, which was my Wednesday, I was supposed to come in and do some squatting. However, squatting was not going to be on the agenda. There in the background there, that is Street Bike Tommy. If you guys are a fan of Nitro Circus or Travis Pastrana or any of that crazy freestyle motocross stuff, you guys will know the name Street Bike Tommy. He has been part of their crew since the beginning, and that guy actually did a backflip on a crotch rocket like 30 foot in the air and was supposed to land in a foam pit, but missed the foam pit and landed to pavement. And he's still alive, but he is one of the nicest dudes ever. He owns a barbecue joint here in Maryland, so awesome guy. He's a new addition to the gym, and we absolutely love him. So if you are a Nitro Circus fan, that guy has some amazing stories to tell. So, but my giant set for this day was the weighted pull-up. Guys, my weighted pull-ups are suffering so badly, but it's one of the biggest tricks, one of the biggest secrets to my strength is the weighted pull-up. So I will continue to pound it. I'm going to be doing them again today. But I was doing some of those to the strict press because I haven't done strict press in a long time, to these barbell crawls. Now, I actually enjoy doing barbell crawls on some pressing days because if you guys look, you are actually working your triceps here. It works your core like crazy, don't get me wrong, but watch. Extension, 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 like you're still kind of hitting it. Now, I was using the dip setup for, or like the Matador, Rogue calls that the Matador, but I was using that setup for my pull-ups because it sits me in a semi-supinated position or a neutral grip position, but it is really, really wide and they actually face outward, so it sticks you in like a mechanically really tough position, and then you start adding weight to it and it gets even worse. So absolutely love doing them on that. It's also a 2-inch handle on each one of those, so it's working your grip also at the same time. But the biggest deal about this day was that I wanted to come in and try to hit a triple at 225, because that is something that I've not been able to do literally since my surgery. And I keep thinking that my surgery was just like last year, but it wasn't. My surgery was over 2 years ago. So to give you guys an idea, everyone's like, oh man, how'd you come back so fast? I'm like, man, I'm not even at like 60% of where I should be. 225 used to be a weight that I could get for 20, and now you guys see this, my top set, there's 2, and then 3. My left arm, watch my left arm, goes weak. I actually stick my head on that side to try to get more of my body underneath of it. Anyway, that's the first time I pulled that trip in a long time. Now, the assistance work for after this was just going back and forth very, very quickly with no leg rope climbs to Arnold presses, dumbbell Arnold presses. Those are like dumbbells. They're like 40-pound dumbbells. I was doing sets of 12 there, I believe, to 1 rope climb. Back to 12 to 1 rope climb. And just absolutely was smoking me. I was pretty smoked anyway from the weighted pull-ups and all the pressing. But, man, I love doing Arnold presses as long as they're very strict. I don't like doing them heavy because I feel like I'm not using what I'm supposed to use. But if I can keep my form really tight by just keeping those dumbbells smashed together and my arms as close together the entire rep, it really tends to isolate my anterior delt. So I love those when I'm completely fried. Also, was just doing a lot of volume work on the overhead press. This is something that has really been a common factor. I was doing sets of 10 on the strict press with 135 to complete burnout on band tricep pushdowns. Now, if you do not have a cable machine, you can grab a hold of some bands, especially some lighter bands like that. That is a red Monster Mini and a blue Monster Mini. And so I'm doing them together as a drop set. I would go to failure, and then I would drop off the red band because that's a little bit lighter. And then I'd go to failure on the blue band alone, and then I'd drop the blue band and go back to the red band and finish that to failure. So you can absolutely smoke your triceps even if you don't have any type of machine or cable or setup where it seems like you couldn't logically do those things. Now, for my third day of the week, I did not make it 4 days. I was too sick. So my third day of the week here, I was doing meadow rows on the T-bar row, which is something that I absolutely love doing. I love that Rogue T-bar row. I know some people have a problem with, but I think it's a great piece of equipment. These are JM presses with the SS, with the yoke bar from Elite FTS, which I absolutely love. 2 squats with the Duffalo bar. That is Duffalo bar, so that thing is 55 pounds. I believe the yoke bar is going to be 70 pounds, so all the gym math here isn't going to make sense when you look at it logically. Just giving you a heads up. On the Meadows rows, I'm actually staying pretty light, just trying to make sure that I'm using the muscles I'm trying to use and squeezing my shoulder blades together. Really just trying to get some fluid into the joints before I get into the bench press because, again, my shoulders are in tough shape. Now, my real thought for this day was getting a heavy 4 on the squat. So that's really what it's all based around. The other stuff is just kind of working through. I was going for sets of 6 or 8 on the Meadows row and then sets of 4 here on the JM press. The JM press is actually a movement that I never did prior to probably... Well, really, Dave Tate sent me that yoke bar for free because he is the nicest guy in the world, and directly after that, I started doing that. So that was probably only about 6 months ago. So that's something I've implemented, and when I first got it, my shoulder was pretty jacked. Like, I was really having trouble with a straight bar. I was having trouble with a Swiss bar, anything pressing. I was getting a lot of pain in my shoulder, but this press I was able to do. It's kind of a mix between a close grip bench press and a tricep extension, and using the yoke bar just gives you a guide. So if you are hurt or anything is going on, then that is an excellent tool to use. Now, this is my top set of squats at 605. That was number 2. Here's number 3. Still feeling pretty good. The weight's not that bad. I probably had a couple more, but my brace is coming back. My tolerance for the heavy weight is coming back, which is more important than anything. Beautiful Kona, just hanging out, having a good time. And then this is my final set of the bench press at 300 pounds, or the JM press at 300 pounds. So guys, overall, yeah, I feel pretty good. I feel like it's coming back, and I thank you guys so much for joining with me on the commentary. All right, and we're back. So, like I said, guys, had some pretty good things this week. Body is feeling better, not really in the sense of like nausea or sweating and just not being able to regulate and having fever and stuff like that. That's all still pretty rough, but what is going really, really well is just that I feel stronger. I feel like my body is filling back out. I've been able to hold on to a little bit more meals. It's all been really, really positive things, and I just feel very hopeful moving forward. Not really sure where things will end up, but I'm just happy to be able to do it at all. So going really, really well. I thank you guys absolutely for every single thing that you do and all the ways you support me. I will catch you guys later in the week. Until I do go out to something amazing, guys, keep working hard, people. Be nice to each other. I'll see you then. Whoa! Hey!